Welcome back to another episode of Robuilt. Why do I always watch that screen? Hey, welcome back to... Okay. There's a sandal. A sandal under my chair. Fifth time's a charm. Welcome back to another episode of Robuilt. I'm your host, Rob. Today I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be as real as it gets. I have done this 19 times, and honestly, I'm really tired, so can we just cut to the intro? Hello, and welcome back. It's a Friday night, 9:30 p.m. I have to wake up in about 5.5, 6 hours to hop on a flight. So I'm gonna try my hardest to record this video in the next hour. We'll find out at the very end of the video if I was right about that, but I'm super excited to say that my drywall is finally patched. I finally did it, guys. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely still there. But next video, it will be patched, I promise. If you wanna send my wife support, leave her a comment down below. Today we're gonna be talking about tiny houses and all the money that I make from both of my tiny houses, which is here in LA and then the other one is in Joshua Tree, California. So the last time I recorded this video, I honestly didn't really like it, but you know, we worked on it and we edited it as best as we could. Edited it. Is that how you say that? We edited it as best as we could and we put it out there and it ended up really taking off. And it's actually doing really well right now. So clearly y'all are nosy and y'all wanna know how much money I make on my tiny houses. So let's talk about it. So on my last video, I had a few people commenting about how I extrapolated the numbers and yada yada. I didn't account for the slow season and blah, 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 right? So I decided to make a follow-up video with the next 2 months so that you can kind of understand the seasonality of my tiny houses. Anyway, if you're interested in following my journey and learning more about my Airbnbs and my tiny houses that I'm building, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna leave the little fancy animation right over here. I just bought an Airstream and released a video on it last week. Be sure to check that out. But if you're interested in sort of that day-to-day renovation, my successes and failures, be sure to follow me on the gram. A lot of you have asked. I am working on my courses as fast as I can. I promise. It takes a long time to edit these things, but I'm hoping to have my first one out in December, but I'm gonna have two. One is gonna be how to start a glamping operation. The other one is the fundamentals of Airbnb and kind of everything you need to know to start that business. So if you're interested in joining those courses, sign up for my course update list down below. When they're ready, you'll be the first to know. Also be sure to stick around until the very end where I'm gonna be answering your most burning questions from the first time I made a video like this. And if you have any questions of your own about any of this, leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer that question. And before we hop into the numbers, this video is brought to you by... I look really dumb right now if you have YouTube Premium. All right, so let's talk numbers really quick. I'm gonna refer to my laptop here because it's got my información. So if you remember in my last video, which I'm not sure why you would, but in July and August on my Joshua Tree tiny house, I made $2,821 profit and $3,302 profit respectively. And on my LA tiny house in July, I made $1,359 profit, and then in August, I made $1,527 profit. All pretty good, right? And I've been able to actually stay 100% booked for the most part. I mean, there might be like a day here or there, which we'll get into, but for the most part, demand is super, super high on all of my tiny houses, which only means one thing, which my price is too low. If you're booked at 100%, you need to raise your prices and really find that sweet spot where you're not booking at 100% anymore, but now you're starting to book anywhere from 90 to 100%. With that said, I keep raising prices and I keep getting 100% booked, so I'm just gonna ride that gravy train until the gravy dries up and I'm forced to eat dry turkey. Baka! So dumb. So we're gonna start first on my LA tiny house for September and October. And just know that before I dive into this, it's not really super easy for me to divulge these numbers, especially since I have like a lot of friends and coworkers that watch the channel. So, you know, I do it to be as transparent as possible so that you understand that this is something that you can do as well. But if you wanna support me in a small way, hit the like button. If you wanna support me in a medium way, hit the subscribe button and the little bell button and you'll get updates on all my tiny house shenanigans. And if you want to go next level, well, then you can leave a comment down below about anything you want. Your shirt size, your favorite John Mayer song, your Chipotle burrito order, whatever comment you want to leave, I will take it down below. Support me. Let's get into this. September numbers for my Los Angeles tiny house. My gross revenue for that month was $2,091.18. My cleaning fees that month were only $120. My bills and expenses for this tiny house is actually pretty low now. My loan and my note for that is $122. If you remember from my last video, it actually used to be $671 because I had a 7-year loan on it at 7.54% interest. Well, I'm happy to report that I have closed on a cash out refinance and I have completely consolidated my debt. So now that's all lumped into my mortgage at a much lower 3.25% APR. So I'm super excited about that. So roughly mathing that out for you, that $28,000 debt that I carried on that house is now amortized over 30 years at 3.25%. My taxes and fees on something like that is $29. My electric and water, very low on that because I have solar panels on my house. That comes out to about $50 a month. Insurance comes out to about $50 a month. And supplies comes out to about $25 a month, sometimes a little less. Sometimes none at all because we just buy toilet paper for our own house to do our business and we put it in a tiny house. So yeah, it's an expense. I'll say $25. So all in all, my expenses for this LA tiny house comes out to $276, which is awesome. My cleaning fee was $120. When you add those up and subtract them from my $2,091 gross, that leaves me with a net profit after all of my bills and expenses have been paid of $1,695. Now, a lot of people ask me about the Airbnb fees. That's already included in this. This is my gross payout, meaning what Airbnb pays me after they've already subtracted the 3% fee. And also remember that cleaning fee is somewhat of a pass-through. The guest pays that, and then I pass that on to my maid. So not really an expense for me necessarily, but to be thorough, I left it in here. Now let's hop into October, which is a little better for me. In October, you'll see that I grossed $2,343.26. I had no cleaning fees because I had a guest that was actually staying longer than that month, so $0 for that month. And then all of my expenses came out to be pretty similar, $276. So when you subtract that from my gross, I made a net profit of $2,067.26, which is pretty good. Pretty good. If you think those numbers are pretty good, just wait till you hear the Joshua Tree numbers, which are much more
really nice.
But first, a word from our sponsors. So as you can see in my September calendar, I was 100% booked. Let's see, did I have any open days? Nope. In October, you'll see that I was 100% booked, except you'll see here on October 11th and 12th, those days were blocked off because I had a friend stay there. She shot a YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. And then you'll also see on October 29th, that was open. Long story short, my water got shut off that day super randomly, and the guest just got super impatient and wanted to end her reservation early. Totally fine. I refunded her for that day. Literally like the moment she left, like 5 minutes later, the water came back on, but whatever, this kind of stuff happens with Airbnb, very rare. You gotta roll with the punches. And then just a quick preview of November, you'll see that I'm almost 100% booked. I have 4 days open right now. I'm sure that those will be booked, but I think that's gonna be my best month ever on this property. So I'm super excited. I'm sure I'll do a video of that whenever the time comes. So let's get into the juicy juice. You'll see in September, I grossed $6,204.12. It's really good, even for me. I had 14 cleanings that month, so that came out to $980. And then my expenses that month were my mortgage, which was $850, my electricity bill, which was $140 that month, trash, $38. I had to buy a toilet paper holder that a guest broke. Don't ask. $27.42. And then lastly, my water bill, which was $49.58. So all in all, my expenses for that month of September was $1,106.38. So we subtract all of that from our gross revenue of $6,200. In September, I had a net profit after all expenses of $4,117.74, which was dope. But wait, there is more. October was even better than that. In October, I grossed $6,386.48. So a couple $100 more. 13 cleanings that month, which came out to $910. Remember, I don't pay cleaning fees. My guests pay that. I just pass that on to my maid. All of my bills, pretty similar. My electricity bill was a little different, $113, so actually a little less. Trash bill the same. My water bill, $54. I had to make a Costco run, which is $50.46. So in the month of October, my expenses were $1,106.74, which actually is creepily the same as the month before that. That's crazy. The difference of like around 40 cents. So when you subtract all of my expenses from my gross revenue after all fees, okay? After all of my mortgages, all of my bills, all Airbnb fees, cleaning fees, my net profit in October after all expenses was $4,369. Nice. And 74 cents. That's great. I mean, that's my best month ever. So with that, it's my favorite part. Let's add up how much money I made in September and October on both of my tiny houses. profit, which of course doesn't include income tax. A lot of y'all asked me about that. I will do another video on that because it's just too complicated for this 10-minute video, which is probably more like 15 minutes, but I will do a video on that. Long story short, yes, I have to pay taxes on it, but I do a lot of write-offs and it comes out to much less than 25%. So $4,369.74 plus $4,117.74 plus $2,067.26 plus $1,695. So in September and October, on both of my tiny houses that people gave me crap for in my YouTube comments about how expensive they were, I made a profit after all expenses. Can you see this? I made a, oh man, focus. All right, well, I guess I got too cocky because I can't focus it and this is karma. So I'm just gonna tell you that I made a profit of $12,249.74. And I'm gonna just try this one more time because it really does look good on my phone. Help me. Let me just say that again. I made a profit on both of my tiny houses, LA and Joshua Tree, in the month of September and October, $12,249.74. That's really great. I'm so happy with that. Like, I'm legitimately so thrilled that things that I created, things that I concepted and executed from start to finish, that people liked it so much that they booked, and they booked at the prices that I set, and that I'm able to make a living and a livelihood off of these things. So if any of you have ever stayed at my tiny houses, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. For good measure, we're gonna add what I made in August and July as well. So in August, wow. In the last 4 months on my tiny houses, I have made $21,261.04 in profit. Again, this is after all my expenses, all fees and everything like that. So let's just extrapolate it for fun. Times 3, that means that on both of these tiny houses, full on profit for the year, I can expect to make $63,783.12, which is about $9,000 more than my last estimate, but that's because I keep raising my prices and people keep booking it. But with that said, it's not like you just build a tiny house, right? I mean, this tiny house back here, the entire year of 28 for me was spent building that house. The house in Joshua Tree was my entire year of 29 focusing on that house. So it took me 2 years. 2 years of hard work, perseverance, gumption, tenacity, the willing to live and fight for your country. Anyway, it took a lot of hard work to get those up, but because of that, I can expect to make about $63,700 a year in profit from those houses, and I'm super proud of it. And you know what? I earned it. I put in thousands of hours into those houses, and yeah, if I can build 2 more over the next 2 years, then I can make $120,000 a year in profit. Like, all to say, this is not my main income, but it's really nice to be able to depend on that as a side hustle. But as I continue to take on partners and investors to build tiny houses and medium houses, big houses, and luxury houses, then I can continually work my way towards that final goal of just being able to kind of build cool things full time in YouTube. So I'm working on it, but you know, it's been a really fun journey so far. And of course, no Robuilt video would be complete without giving you the Chipotle currency conversion. So on $21,261.04, if I divide that by the average cost of a burrito, in the last 4 months, I have made enough to buy 2,834.8 burritos from Chipotle. I don't ever have to buy Chipotle again. I did it. I don't even need Chipotle as a sponsor. They never even reached out to me after I wrapped my tiny house as a Chipotle burrito. I don't need them because I make enough money from my tiny houses to buy my own Chipotle burritos. But with that said, please call me. Well, those are my numbers, and if any of that inspired you to become an Airbnb host, I've got really cool news. I'm an Airbnb ambassador now, meaning if you sign up with my link, you'll get a bonus whenever you host your first stay. I'll get a kickback, and I also get to help you in the onboarding process and help you start that journey as your Airbnb ambassador. I'll leave the link down in the description below for that. So with that, as promised, I'm gonna answer some of your most asked questions from my last video. So first one from Eric. You had extrapolated for summer month earnings, and I was interested if you had factored in off-season rental in your earnings. Good question. Some would consider this season right now my off season, but I'm still doing better than ever. You know what? From the day that I listed Conejo a year ago to today, I've pretty much been 100% booked, give or take like a day here and there. You know, I may have blocked those days off for maintenance or anything like that, but for the most part, I haven't really had an off season. That's because I have a really desirable listing in a really great location with really nice interior design. So for the most part, I expect these earnings to be pretty consistent. Leslie says, love the video. Would income tax end up taking like 25% of that $54,000 $4,000 estimate. I'm sorry if I missed where you mentioned taxes. Yeah, it's a fair question. A lot of people do ask me about that. 25% is a good basis to start at, but you have to keep in mind that you write off a lot of expenses. So, I write off supplies and sheets and maids and, maintenance and landscaping, all that kind of stuff. So it really ends up being a lot less than that 25% number. I'll do a video on this at a later point, but for the most part, I would say that you don't necessarily always want to write off every single expense and make it to where you make zero money on the property, because then it makes it a lot harder for you to qualify for other mortgages. So you definitely want to claim some profit as you can. And I know that it sucks to pay taxes, but you do have to remember that if you're paying taxes, that means that you made money. So just try to be positive about it. No one likes them, but what can you do? Jonathan asks, do you pay local hotel occupancy taxes? I didn't see that in the spreadsheet. Good question. That's not included in the spreadsheet because I forgot. No, I'm kidding. That is actually something that's collected by Airbnb and it's remitted to the city on my behalf. So technically I do pay those taxes, but I never see them. Todd says, love the video. Where did you get the plans for that house? It's so cute. You can get the plans at smallhousecatalog.com. Let's do a super here. Sean's a great dude. We collaborated to create this design, and you'll find a bunch of other really cool small house and tiny house designs there. Adriana says, excuse me, sir. How can I steal your tips and ideas? Easy. You can book a consultation with me where we talk for an hour over Zoom and get an action plan for you on how to start an Airbnb or a glamping business or how to buy land or how to build a tiny house. Whatever that is, we kind of work together to figure out something that works for you. You can sign up for my courses, which aren't out yet, but if you sign up for my list down below, you'll be the first to find out. And you can like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. You're watching this video right now, hit the like button, and then if you subscribe, whenever I have more videos like this, you'll be the first to know, and it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And that's pretty much all I have for today. I was hoping this was gonna be 10 minutes, but
the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
And it's probably like 15 or 20 minutes, but either way, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll see you on the next episode of Robuilt. Actually, just wanted to give you a quick update. It's 10:55. I did not do it in an hour like I said I would. I gotta wake up in 5 hours for my flight, which is gonna be awesome. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode of Robuilt. Love you guys. Bye.